let's pick up on the story we did just before the weather about this controversy surrounding textbooks in Limpopo. We now have Mark Heywood, is the director of Section 27, is on the line for us. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thanks indeed. Also, we've brought back Panyaza Lesufi of the Department of Basic Education. Again, Panyaza, I thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mbebe.
Thank you. All right, Mark, Panyaza a little earlier on said it would be unfair for Section 27 to take any legal action because they've briefed you and you have accepted the briefing as far as I understand. Please respond.
Yeah, can I just correct some of the things that Mr. Lesufi said? We did meet Mr. Matthews, the administrator of the National Intervention, on Thursday in Polokwane. Mm-hmm. And it was a very frank, very constructive meeting, I have to say. And Mr. Matthews assured us that on Thursday, as we were talking, the books were beginning to be delivered to the schools. And he asked us if all of the books were not there by midnight on Friday, would we go to court for contempt of court? And we said, of course not. You know, if it's 5 or 10 minutes late, as long as we know that the books are on the way and that they're going to be delivered over the weekend, we don't want to be rushing back to court. Our interest is to get those books to those students. But the problem is that as we sit here now on Wednesday morning, the reports that we are getting is that many, if not the majority of schools, do not have their textbooks. Some have some of the textbooks. Some have none of the textbooks, and the school holidays are now 3 days away, and the danger is that if the books are not there today, the children will go on holiday 6 months into the year still with no basic textbooks.
Mr. Lesufi, this is a mess. Please respond. Here's the situation. Here's the situation that has been painted by Mark Heywood. How do you respond then?
Let me clarify 2 important aspects. One, we had a meeting and explained on the logistical rollout of the plan. And that logistical rollout was accepted. I can confirm with you, Mbepetwa, we have seen trucks have been there in Limpopo from Friday until Sunday, where trucks were leaving our warehouses to go and deliver those particular books. As of Sunday, and I'm still putting it on authority, as of Sunday, we had 97% delivered. The 3% were collating the information that we received yesterday and on Monday to determine where we are. Indeed, if there are limitations, what will be the benefits of the department to deliberately deny learners to get those particular textbooks? Because we've got them. We bought them. There is a political will to resolve the impasse, the will to ensure that children in Limpopo are not further disadvantaged. We'll do everything, even if it needs to be. We'll go to Section 27 or go to court if there is a need an extension.
All right.
For now.
But here's the problem now. The problem is that we're hearing from Mark that many, if not most, schools still do not have books, and you're saying, on the other hand, 97 have books.
And in Perpetua, to back our facts, I gave, as of Monday, I gave all the media houses the list of all the schools that we've delivered to. Not even a single media house came back to us to say that those particular schools say they don't have those particular
Mark, to your knowledge?
Well, look, I mean, I have no interest in misleading the public or suggesting that Mr. Lesufi is misleading the public, but it's simply not the case. You know, I wish that those books were there. The reports that we are getting are that the books are not there. And it's true that when we met Mr. Matthews, the administrator, we talked about the logistical difficulties of getting the books out, but that doesn't justify 6 days past the deadline and the books are still not in any schools. Mr. Lesufi, even in one of the schools that brought this application, yesterday they only had textbooks for biology and agriculture, as I believe it, and the wrong numbers of textbooks. So it doesn't appear to be solving the problem at this moment.
And Mark, what are you going to do about it?
I'm glad Mark Heywood is confirming that even the schools got the textbooks.
No, but he says even the school that was part of the legal challenge does not have all the textbooks. They only have a biology textbook.
And I said we've delivered 97% by. I've never said
that doesn't seem to be the case, Mr. Lesufi, unfortunately.
I'm saying to you, Mark Heywood, and I'm saying to you, Mbepetwa, there is no reason this Department of Basic Education can further disadvantaged learners of Limpopo.
Look, pardon those that do not necessarily believe what you're saying, Mr. Lesufi, because it has taken 6 months. So people will always be skeptical about the commitment of the department to providing these textbooks.
But they are now misplacing the information. If a patient is sick and the doctor comes and assists that particular patient, do we blame the doctor? Because it is not our it was not our responsibility for the.
All right. I need to wrap up on this.
Those textbooks.
Sure. I need to wrap up by asking Mark,
as a doctor, to resuscitate a patient, and now we are pointing fingers at the doctor.
All right, Mark, is it the doctor? Is it the patient?
Department of Education in Limpopo that misled the people of Limpopo.
All right.
You don't have to raise a finger at
the national department. All right, Mark, I just want to know from you then: are you taking this legal action?
Can I make two closing comments,
yes, please.
Polani? Yeah. The first is that can Mr. Lesufi give us a guarantee that by, say, midday today, 100% of the books will have been delivered to 100% of the schools? If he can give that guarantee, there's no need for any contempt of court application. The further delay has been unfortunate. But can he simply give that guarantee that by lunchtime today, every school and every learner will have every book that he or she needs?
Mr. Lesufi?
There is no reason why we cannot provide that particular guarantee from the information that has been given to us. And if there is indeed a limitation of us not having those books by lunchtime to all the schools, Section 27 Section 27 will be the first institution that will go to and provide those particular reasons.
All right.
From the reports that we have received,
there's a guarantee.
And we want to move and ensure that textbooks are in our.
All right, Mark, you've got your guarantee. Let me wrap it up here. We'll follow up on this story. Mark Heywood, Director of Section 27, Panyaza Lesufi, speaking on behalf of the Department of Basic Education. Thank you both for your time this morning. The human rights organization, then Section 27, says it is taking legal action against the Department of Education for contempt of court. This after the organization raised concerns about the prolonging of the delivery of textbooks in Limpopo. All schools were supposed to have received books by the 15th of this month, as per the North Gauteng High Court ruling. But according to the organization, this has not happened. Let's talk now to the spokesperson for the Department of Basic Education, Panyaza Lesufi. Good morning to you, Mr. Lesufi.
Good morning, Pepe.
I'll
be fine on this, thanks.
Thank you. Section 27 accuses your department of not complying with the North Gauteng High Court's injunction here. Well, how do you respond?
It would be unfair if they do that, Tolani. We had a briefing with them on Friday to give them a detailed plan on how we're delivering the books, and they endorsed that particular plan and congratulated us. And by Sunday afternoon, we've delivered almost 97%. And the 3% was mainly because some of they don't have an after-school warehouse facilities, and it was going to be irresponsible out of us just to dump those particular books outside the school gates and leave them there. Where we are quite convinced that we have met substantially so was complied with that particular court judgment. But
let me test that a little bit, because you were supposed to have delivered the books by the 15th of this month. That did not happen.
It did. Let me indicate to you, Conan, by the 15th of June, all our publishers, and I have to thank them, they worked under extremely unreasonable timelines. By the 15th of June, all the books were with us. The books that we have ordered from the 100% of the particular books were with us. So we have to place those particular books in our schools. You will recall it's just such a massive logistical arrangement. So what we did, we prioritized the schools that they took us to court for in the Vembe and Mopane area, which is the court judgment that said that these are the schools that are disadvantaged, ensure that to comply with them. And we did that completely.
I'm not sure about that, because yesterday the DA released results of their own investigation. They said at least 4 schools in Limpopo are still without books, and they spoke about Mbonegele Primary School in Seshego, Lotang Primary School also in Seshego, Serutle Secondary School, Dubake Secondary School. They said those schools do not have books.
It's a very unfortunate political game by the DA. Unfortunately, I'm not a politician. I'm not going to respond to that. But what we did immediately when the DA released that statement, including our media house, we gave them the full list of the schools that we've delivered for. Not even a single newspaper publication published that list. We gave them the full list of all the schools that we've delivered. We said to the media houses, We have nothing to hide. Here are the list of the schools that we've delivered. Phone these schools.
But does that exclude? Does the list exclude these schools?
The TA, unfortunately, is misleading South Africans because we were taken to court to deliver for grade 1, grade 3, grade 6, grade 10. So if you go to high schools, when we're not taken to high schools to deliver those particular books, we're only taken to court to deliver for the new curriculum. All other schools have their own textbook, which is a misnomer that we also want to rectify. It does not mean that children in Limpopo didn't have textbook. They had. But for the new curriculum, which we tweaked, they needed to get a certain form of textbook.
All right. You know what we'll do? Because I'm out of time here, Mr. Lesufi. I'm completely out of time. But I see Section 27 has just sent me a message. They say they want to respond to this matter. We'll certainly give them just a bit of time, perhaps maybe a minute or two a little later on before the show is out so that they can respond. Because you say that they've been unfair in their accusation. I'll talk to Mark Heywood a little later on of the Section 27 and get his response. Unfortunately, you got to wrap it up here with Panyaza Lesufi, who speaks on behalf of the Department of Basic Education.